Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Pavan Kumar. In this session, we will be dealing with how to draw the scatter plots, pie charts and bar charts and histograms and as well as data merging in R. So let us quickly move on to our agenda. How we perform the data merging, how we perform the indexing and slicing operations on data frames, list and its operations, and plotting bar charts and scatter plots, and plotting histograms and pie charts. So I quickly open my RStudio. Yeah. So first select the folder you want to perform. So I am selecting my folder. I am selecting data merging. So the data merging folder has selected, which contains the files, which includes my dataset.r, captaincy.data.txt, captaincy.data.csv and data2.csv, and also contains the XML file. So go to the options section and set working directory as files pane location. Now I will be opening my dataset.r. So initially my dataset.r contains that is rm of list is equal ls, which is used to clear the R workspace. Now I declare a variable to store the data frame. So I already created a data frame, that is dataset.csv. So let us run this code first. Yeah. Now I am going to view the dataset. So the dataset contains names, that is y, played, won, lost and victory fields, which contains the values. So my data captaincy data.csv initially contains these values, and I am loading that one into captaincy 1. Now in order to view the data in the data frame, use the option view. I viewed the data. Now R comes with a special statistical function called summary. The summary will create automatically the mean, median and mode for a data. So my data set or my data frame is this. So each includes the played, won and lost columns and along with the victory also. So for this, R will perform the statistical operations for each and every column using a summary operation. So I will enhance my block here, so you can clearly see that the names y, minimum and first quadrant, median and mean value and max value, for every column it will automatically calculate the minimum, median and maximum value, so using an operation called summary. Now we can also check the type of the data set also. So let me run the code first. I will minimize this one. Yeah, so the class is data frame, it has given. Now you can select the type also. So the type is a list type. Now in order to retrieve the first two rows of the data frame, we can use head method by passing the parameter as head of data frame comma 2, which will retrieve the first two rows. In order to retrieve the last two rows, use the option tail, that is the tail function or tail method is used to retrieve the last two rows. An str function will give the each and every operations which was contained in the data frame. That is, for example, let us see help of str. It will give the overall representation of the data set. So the compatible display, the structure of an arbitrary R object, that is, it will give the compatible display, that is compactly display of the data frame which we have taken. Str function is used for compactly display. Now I am going to create the second data frame. I will run the code first here though. Captaincy, that is read.csv of captaincy2.csv. So the captaincy2.csv also contains certain data. Now I am going to view the captaincy 2. So it contains names, draw, defeat and format, that is 4 columns, and captaincy 1 contains 1 2 3 4 5 6 columns. It will contains 4 columns. Now I am going to merge the two data frames using a predefined function called merge. So I am going to merge, that is captaincy 1 which contains 6 fields and captaincy 2 which contains 4 fields by names. So you can clearly see that the names column is common for both the data frames. So using the names, I will combine these two and I am going to view the combined data frame. Now it was combined. Now I am going to view the data frame. So you can clearly see that captaincy 1 contains the extra fields, that is draw, defeat and formats, which was in captaincy 2. So in this way we can merge the two data frames in R. So we can also import the data frames in R in the format of XML also. So for that we are going to import the XML package along with the library. So first we have to run the XML library, then only we will be able to handle the XML data in R. So here I am taking a variable called XML data and using XML2 data frame, which is used to read the XML files in our folder, and I am going to view the XML files also. So I will run the code here. So the XML data will contains the vector. So my XML file is here. My XML file is loaded into XML data object. Now I am going to view that object, and R comes with XML2 data frame, which will convert the XML2 data frame. So for reading the text data, we are not going to install any library. Simply we will use a method called read.table by which we can read the data. So I will run the code here. So you can clearly see that text.data. So captaincy data.text data is containing certain data which was captured into text data. Using read.table, we can read the contents of the text file. So in order to read the contents of an XML file, we are going to import the library of XML, then only we can read the XML files. So for summary file will give the overall summary of the data frame, which include the statistical operations like mean, median, and mode, and min and max. And in order to retrieve the first two rows, we are going to use head, and the last two rows we are going to use the tail, and complete display you are going to use the str, and we can merge the two data frames using a predefined function called merge. So in this way we can perform the data merging. So I will get back to my slide. Now the second one is indexing and slicing the data frames. So I will open my folder here. Yeah. After selecting the folder, go to the option session and set working directory as files pane location. So let us clear the entire this one, Control L. Now close all the files. Now I am going to open my dataframe.r script file. So first initially I am going to read a CSV file, captaincy data.csv, into a captaincy. Now I am going to view the stored data set, so which contains the names and year and played, won, lost, and as well as victory, the same data from which we have previously taken. Now in order to retrieve a column, so R comes with a dollar symbol. Based upon the dollar symbol, we can retrieve certain column, that is captaincy played column values are going to be displayed here. So we can also use captaincy dollar. It will comes with the all the columns which was contained in the data frame. So R will give, I am going to select dollar victory. So select this line and select run this line only. So it will give the victory column values. So in this way, using a dollar operation, we can retrieve the particular columns in a data frame. Now we can also retrieve certain columns. Captaincy 3 means in the data frame I am going to retrieve only the third row. So in order to retrieve the third row, we are going to pass the parameters 3 and remaining as comma, which includes the third row. If we are not going to use comma, then the R will treat this one as a 3 value, that is the third row, that is names, y, and played, that is column is going to be retrieved. So in order to retrieve the column, we are going to use captaincy 3. In order to retrieve the row, we are going to pass comma and defaultly null and close the bracket, which itself represents that retrieving the third row. So to retrieve the third row, this one, and to retrieve the third column, captaincy of 3. So we can also retrieve 2 columns and 2 rows simultaneously. So I am retrieving the 2 columns here, second column and third column, and second column and fifth column. And so here captaincy of played, who was played 25 games. So in the entire data frame, who played 25 games, I am going to retrieve using captaincy of captaincy dollar played equal to 25. Now I am going to retrieve the player who played 45 games. So the same command, change the value as played to 45, then Mahi, that is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Now how we perform the indexing. So indexing is performed in same as in arrays. In indexing also performed in R also in the data frame. So captaincy of 1 is passed means we are going to retrieve the first row, that is which contains names value, and the captaincy of 3 means that is a third column. So you can clearly see the third column, that is played here, the third column is going to be retrieved. Similar cases we can also retrieve by using the names also, that is names or y or played etc., that is column names. So we can also retrieve two columns simultaneously, captaincy of names comma 1, or we are going to retrieve the two columns name comma played from the data frame. So here C is used for the concatenation of two columns which we are going to retrieve from the data frame. Now how we perform the slicing? In R, the slicing can be performed by using a function called as subset. So here I am going to use a method called subset in a captaincy data frame. For vectors whose vector is greater than 0.3, I am going to combine those vectors whose vectors are greater than 0.3, and I am going to retrieve their names, their played and their won. So I will run this code here. I will print the subdata. You can clearly see that Mahi, Saurabh and Dravid only retrieved because their vector is greater than 0.3. So remaining all vectors are less than 0.3. If I change the value to 0.4, then only two players are going to be retrieved. Again, I am going to print the subdata. So 0.4 Mahi and Saurabh. 0.4, 0.4. So only two rows are going to be retrieved. So in this way, we can perform the slicing operations on the data set using a subset function in R. So we can retrieve the fourth row and the third column, that is 14 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth column and third row. Similarly, you can pass the fifth column and second row, the same case. And 13th one, that is fifth column and the second one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and second one. And similarly, we can pass 1:3. So in this way, we can perform the slicing operations and as well as retrieving and indexing the data sets in R. So in order to perform the slicing operation, use a method called as subset. So in order to perform the indexing, we can retrieve the data by using the index values as well as the names in the data set. Now let me get back to my slide. Now the third one is lists and its operations. I will quickly open my folder. I will clear the contents. I will change my working directory to the file pane location and close the previous one. Now here my list also contains certain lists. So first I am going to run the command for clearing the workspace, and I am going to read the captaincy data.csv, and I am going to view the data frame, that is the stored data frame. The same data frame I am going to use, that is captaincy.csv, which contains the fields. Now I am going to retrieve only some parts of the data, played, won and lost only to another data set. So in such cases I am going to use a subdata. So I perform a matrix operation. Now I am taking a vector also. Now my list contains a data frame, a matrix, a vector. So list is used to combine the data frames and matrices and vectors. These both three are combined to perform a list. So here I am going to display the names of the list also, and printing finally my list value. So my list will contains the data frames, the matrix and the vectors. First I loaded the CSV file, I created the data frame, I created the matrix and I created the vector, and I combined these three into a list. So lists in R comes with a combination of a data frames or a matrix or vectors or objects, etc. Now how we perform indexing in lists? So indexing in lists is same as that of indexing in data frames using a dollar symbol. So we can retrieve the fields in the lists. I will run the code here. So my list of data frame, you can clearly see that. Now if I am going to retrieve the matrix also, the matrix is separately retrieved. Now I can retrieve the vector also. This is the vector in my list. Now I can retrieve the second column or third column, that is to index third column of the matrix. So similarly, to combine the two lists, my list of 2 and 3 will combine the two list values. And so in order to combine the two lists, create another list, that is the second list was named as list simple, which contains 1, 2, 3 vectors. Now using an operation merge.list, I am going to combine my first list, that is my list, and as well as list simple, and finally I am going to print that merge list. Let me run these lines. So here two lists are merged and final value is displayed. So in this way, we can perform indexing and as well as combining the two lists in R. Now let me get back to my slide. Now the fourth one is plotting bar charts and scatter plots in R. I will open my folder. Plotting bar charts in R. After opening, close all the remaining files and set our file directory to files panes location, that is set working directory. Now I am going to open my R script. So first initially I am going to clear the data set and I am going to load a data set called movies data.csv, which was predefined and default in R. So I am going to load the data set, so which contains 600 entries and 31 total columns. So it contains 600 rows and 31 columns. So you can clearly see that by scrolling this one, which was a predefined data set in R. Using this data set, we can perform the operations like scatter and histogram and graphics in R. So I am going to declare a variable called movies and I am going to load the data set, that is movies data.csv, into movies. Now I am going to view the stored data frame. Now in order to perform the dimension, that is number of rows and columns, R comes with a function called dim, using which we can retrieve the number of rows and columns. Now I am going to retrieve first 20 movies only. So first 20 movies only, that is first 20 rows only. So first 20 rows are going to be loaded into movies sub variable. Then R comes with a function called as bar plot. So in bar plot, I am going to map the first 20 movies against their IMDb rating. So it contains the IMDb rating also. IMDb rating, yeah, this one is IMDb rating. For every film, there will be an IMDb rating. I am going to map a bar plot between the movie names and as well as IMDb, and I will going to pass the parameters as X label and Y label. X label is movies and Y label is IMDb rating, and the color is blue. And I am going to set the limitations for the Y axis, that is 0 to 10 only. Now I am run the code first. So you can use the option zoom. So in order to view the movie, so in this way we can perform the bar plot, but here the movie names are not there. So in order to get the movie names, close this one, pass the parameter as names.arg is equal to movies sub dot title. So we can get the movies title. The data frame movies sub contains a column called as title, so by which we can get the title of certain movies. Now I will zoom here. You can clearly see that, but only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only 6 movie names. The remaining movie names are collided or combined here. So in order to get the perfect movie names for every bar, makes it orientation as 90 degrees. So in order to make this orientation on 90 degrees, we are going to pass a parameter called LAS, which provides the orientation to 90 degrees. So I will run the code first. Then you can clearly see that every movie name has came and along with the bar plot of IMDb rating. So in this way, we can perform the bar plot in R. Now coming to the other plot, let me run the code first. So this one is the scatter plot here. You can clearly see that. Again is the IMDb rating and audience score. I have taken the two columns, that is IMDb rating versus the audience score. So x-axis is movies of IMDb rating and y-axis is movies.audience score. Labeled as IMDb rating and audience score, and setting the limitations of x-axis to 0, 10, y-axis to 0, 10. So plot function is you going to plot the scatter plot in R, and bar plot function is going to plot the bar plot in R, whereas plot function is used for plotting the scatter plot. So in this case, we are going to plot a scatter plot between the audience score and IMDb. You can take any columns in the data set. Not only these two, we can take any columns and we can perform the scatter plots and bar plots in R. And finally, R comes with another function called as COR, that is correlation. Since R is mainly used also for statistical purposes, we can also calculate the correlation between the IMDb rating and also the audience score. So here the correlation value is 0.86. In this way, we can plot the bar plots and scatter plots in R. I will get back to my slide for the last one. Let me close this one. Now the last operation is plotting histograms and pie charts. So close the entire one. Now I am going to select the last folder, histograms and pie charts. Now close this one. Now I'm going to set my working directory as set files pane location. So every time whenever we select the folder, we have to set this option, then only R will works. Now I'm going to open my plots.r, in which I'm going to clear the R workspace, and I'm going to declare a variable called movies, and I'm going to view the movies value. Let me run the code first. So the movies are going to be displayed, the same dataset which we have used previously. Now I'm going to select the dimension of the movies. So in order to get the total number of rows and values, now I'm going to plot a histogram using a function called hist. We can perform the histogram on a column called runtime. So this data set contains, or data frame contains, the runtime column on which I am going to perform the histogram. So here, go to option R, select the option Ju. You can clearly see that movies runtime and as well as frequency. Based upon these two, I am going to plot a histogram. Now you can also pass another values for the histogram also. So along with this, I am going to display the title of the histogram and X label, and set the X limitation and changing the color to blue. So you can clearly see that the histogram was changed, and we can also pass another value that is called as breaks, in which movies which contains the breaks are going to be displayed. So here the movies which contains the breaks are displayed with very large effectively. If at all we are not going to perform, or we are not going to use the breaks value, then the histogram will be limited to this only. So in order to be very clear, we can use an option called as break. So in this way, we can draw the histogram using a hist function which was predefined in R. Now how to draw the pie chart? So in order to draw the pie chart, I am going to take a column called as general in the movies data frame. So you can clearly see the general. So in this general only, based upon this general, I am going to plot a pie chart. So I will run the code here. Now I will be going to view the gender count. That is, the dataset contains the action and adventure movies 65, comedy movies 87, documentary movies 52, and drama movies 305, and similarly so on. So based upon these 600 columns, I am going to get these values. Now using a method called pie in R, we are going to draw the pie chart. So you can clearly see the pie chart here. So we can also change the color of the pie chart also, and we can also set the title using an option called as main, and setting the border as orange or setting the border as blue, and change the color as orange, and change the pie chart. You can clearly see that pie chart was changed. So in this way, we can plot the pie charts and histograms in R. So in this session, we have learned what is a data merging and how we perform the indexing and slicing the data frames, lists and its operations, plotting the bar charts and scatter plots, and finally plotting the histograms and pie charts. So hope you guys enjoyed with my session. Thank you.